Hello, and we're back with an interesting thing that happened this week. A girl walked past me and my husband with her boobs to her chin, like all the way up to her chin. And I couldn't take my eyes off of her boobs. Of course, I was staring. I mean, they were in my face all over the place. And as I was staring at her boobs, I saw my husband staring at her boobs because I don't have 20/20 vision. I have 360 vision. I can see all the way around my head back to my face. So I see everything that's happening around me all the time. And straight up in the moment, I go to my husband, "You're looking at her boobs. You're totally checking her out in front of me." He's like, "What am I supposed to do? They're up to her chin." So I was a total bitch to my husband all week long. And I was like, no. That's fine that you checked her out because there are a lot of hot guys that I want to check out too. Now I feel comfortable doing it right in front of your face. And the truth is, I checked her boobs out too. But he's still going to pay for doing it. He's going to learn self-control. And I'm not like this, "Oh my God, guys, look at boobs." I mean, I worked at Hooters, for God's sakes, for like 100 years. I was in the calendar, you know. I love my calendar girl. My Hooters calendar girl. Which is so like crazy to think back of the days because I'm from New Orleans that I was in the Hooters calendar, and it's insane to me that it was like the biggest deal back then to be in the Hooters calendar. I'll tell you the story because it's funny. I have a couple of Hooters boob stories, but for the calendar, I actually submitted my photos, and you take professional photos, you know, showing a lot of tits. And they pick 12, I want to say, no, it's not 12, it's 15, maybe 15 plus girls, and they fly them to Clearwater, where the original Hooters exists, or wherever Hooters started was like Clearwater, Florida. And they fly you there, and they have this huge photo shoot, and you get your makeup done and all this blah 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 blah. So of course I'm like one of the girls that got picked and flown to go shoot for the Hooters calendar. And I was so excited. Like, it was such a huge deal. I was the only girl from our store. Oh, look at me, Hooter Girl of the Year. And I went to Clearwater to shoot for the calendar, and I got so sick. It was crazy. Everybody went out the night before, and I was like, I cannot move. I was in bed crying, deathly ill. But I just had to make it to the shoot because I was so excited to be in the calendar. And it was such a bummer. I got my makeup done, and I kept feeling like, oh my God, like I just feel like I'm going to die. And when I got in front of the camera on set to shoot, I kept dropping like a fly, like just like black clouds started coming into my eyes, and I just like would fall, and then two people would lift me, and I would try to hurry up and take a picture and then fall again. And I just kept fainting on set, and it was such a bummer. And so anyway, I still made a small picture, and I was very happy that I was in the small picture. I was a world's famous Hooters girl. I got to sign calendars at the store. It was so stupid. Anyway, so I'm not like this, you know, oh my God, don't look at boobs type of person, because let's be real, like guys are obsessed with boobs. Like guys love boobs. Like, I'll be honest with you, I really do feel like the world would be a better place if there was a mandatory law that every straight male had to get a boob job. Had to get breast implants, every straight male, because they can't. And you know what? People would be happily married if straight men got breast implants. wives would be so happy and so much less irritated because guys could just sit in the bathroom mirror and play with their own boobs when they're brushing their teeth. When their wife is cooking, they can walk up to their wife while she's at the stovetop and play with their own boobs instead of coming around and grabbing ours. Like, we would just be happier as couples if we just had this mandatory law and made it normal, like normalized straight married men getting breast implants. Could you imagine? First of all, we would have to go to work, ladies. Like, we would start making equal pay, okay? We would, like, forget feminism and running out and protesting. All we have to do is give straight men breast implants. They would be at home playing with their boobs all day. They wouldn't have time to go to work. They would just be at home, jiggling their boobs. Like, it would be insane. Trust me. Look at them. They can barely get their dicks out of their hands. Barely get their dicks out of their hands. If we gave them breasts too, oh my God, that would take up all their time in a day. Like, period. Point blank. Done. Anyway, so I'm running for president 2024. And these are my laws that I'm trying to pass through Congress. Oh my God. So I'll never forget, anyway, back to Hooters, because the ADHD, we're going to jump all over the place. I'll never forget when I was a hostess at Hooters at first. And I wore this little like white tennis outfit. And it was like this collared shirt that buttoned up with these white, like, you know, tennis-y type of shorts. And when I turned 18, I got to go on the floor and wait tables, and I put the top on. And like, even if you had, like, no matter how big or small your boobs were, we all extra padded our boobs with like socks and just boob pads. Like those, when they came out with those like silicone jelly boob pads, everybody had like 2 or 3 of them in their bra. It was insane how big we tried to make our boobs look in these uniforms. And, oh my gosh. I, one time, was putting the pads in my boobs. We were in a rush. I pulled my shirt down low. I got on the floor and I did not know. And I'm walking around to the food pickup area, to tables, to the bar. And I'm like, blah. And my nipple is hanging out the entire time. Like, I pushed my boobs so high and pulled my shirt so low that my nipple was peering out, about to poke someone in the eye. And I was walking around like this for, like, I'm telling you, 10 minutes or more. And nobody even told me, noticed, nothing. One of the girls ran up to me and was like, oh my God, and like hugged me and pulled my shirt. I was like, your nipples out. I was like, oh my God. It was so embarrassing, but you know, I mean, like, it was such good times. And working at Hooters was where I met like so many of my closest friends and people that I still talk to today. It was just such a good time, but I just thought it'd be fun to tell this story about my husband today, because there's got to be something. I feel like some women who are married are like, ugh, look at her boobs. Who cares? Like, ugh, I need a break from you. I'm aggravated. Some women like me might get a little jealous and be devious and like want to go after their husband and be like, you looked at another girl's boobs and I'm going to check out every guy that walks past. But I will say, like, men, or my husband, I should say, just not men in general, but I have heard other men say, like, this type of thing, like, checking out boobs is just like they can't not do it. They can't look at other women and notice, because their brains are, like, wired that way. Their brains just work that way. Like, they're wired differently than women's brains. Let me tell you guys something. This is just for guys. Do you think that Our brains aren't wired to look at a smoking hot guy with a six-pack and no shirt on. Do you think that our brains are like, oh, I'm married, I don't even have any interest in checking out that hot ass guy with a six-pack that's ripped? Do you think we don't check them out? No, we don't do it out of respect for you because we don't want you to feel bad about yourself. So when you think that your brains are wired different, they're not. We want to check this hot ass guy out too. We want to look at this hot guy and drool and be like, holy cannoli, that is a smoking ass hot guy. Okay? We want to look too. And boobs, obviously, were given to us to breastfeed babies until men discovered them. Then we had to breastfeed you guys. It's like men are like, no, I want the boob. That's why I swear I'm onto something with this mandatory breast implants for straight guys. I am onto something. Speaking of boobs, you would not believe yesterday, and this is just LA. This is just, everybody knows it's like a famous topic. LA is slammed with traffic all the time. And like, I had to drive 45 minutes to drop my mom's mammogram, what do you call them, like films, off to a new place for her to get mammograms at that her doctor wants her to go to because he can read them better from here. And then I'm trying to make an appointment. They won't make the appointment till they have them in their hand. And they go, well, the only appointment we have this week is today at 3:45. So I'm driving my mom. I drove back to pick up my mom 40 minutes, back 45 minutes, back an hour, for like 4 trips. So we get the mammogram and my mom and it came out clear. They're like, you're good. So we don't need to see you for a year. You're going to meet with your doctor, but they look them over and everything looks great. And my mom's like, oh, thank goodness. Now my mom had a mastectomy on one of her boobs. She had breast cancer and it was stage 0 DCIS. And that's why it's so important to get mammograms, because this is very undetectable. They thought they saw something once, and then they said, we want to do a mammogram in 6 months. I swear to God, like the baby came out in my mom. The baby was there. We went to do the mammogram, and then they said that we're going to do, what is it called? It's like when they go in and they shoot little metal beads into where they think there are lumps. They feel a lump and they shoot a metal bead. So when you take a picture of it, like really shows up. And we did that. And I sat next to her the entire time. And I am like, really, like, if I see blood, I will like, or if somebody vomits next to me, I start vomiting. I start gagging and vomiting. If I see blood, I start to faint. Like, I could never be a nurse, right? So of course, you know, as I've told you, I'm desperate to keep my mom alive because like I love the crazy woman. And she was so scared. And I said, I'm just going to go in with you. She's like, no, I know you're going to be scared. I was like, no, I'm going in. I sat in a chair right next to her bed while they shot all this in. Blood's everywhere, and I'm trying to breathe, and I'm like, because I had to be there for her. Like, I could never leave my mom alone in that. But it was so traumatic when my mom had to have the mastectomy on her breast. Like, I was so uncontrollably crying and like a crazy person. It just like crushed me in a million pieces. And I was so scared. And I remember like I slept. Oh, and my sisters we were all there after her surgery in the room. We're like, okay, mom's comfortable. She's cracking jokes. She's out of the surgery. She's, you know, being her crazy self. She's like, look at me, your mom, the one boob wonder, the one boob wonder. And I said to the doctor, like, I'm so stressed out. it's hard for me to be able to handle what's going on. Can you please take the other boob off too? Like, let's get rid of both of the boobs. Let's get the boobs out of here. She doesn't need them. She's closed for business. Let's let the boobs go. And my mom's just sitting there like she doesn't even care. And the doctor asked my mom, so I need to know before the surgery, do you want me to set you up so we can put a breast implant in this breast? And I just started screaming, no! Because I have had so many friends with breast implants that have encapsulated and had to go through multiple surgeries, like so many friends that had to get their boobs redone once or twice or 3 times or just take them out completely. Like and that to me, I cannot go through that with my mom. That will stress me out so bad. So the doctor looked at me when I was like, no! She was like, whoa, this is aggressive. So now, and she refused to take the other boob off. And now my mom refers to herself as a one boob wonder. And when we got the mammogram back yesterday and it was good, my mom's like, well, one thing off the plate. At least this is good. I was like, I know. I'm so happy it's good. I wish they would have just taken the other boob off. We wouldn't have to stress, Mom. We wouldn't have to go through this together and doing these mammograms and sitting around waiting for the results. And I said, but for some reason, it was meant for you to have one boob. For some reason, you were meant to be a one boob wonder. And I wonder maybe if it's because soon in technology, you're going to be able to breastfeed someone again. And she just started dying laughing. Because let me tell y'all, my mom never shuts up about breastfeeding. Like, I owe her everything for breastfeeding me. Every single thing in the world that I have is because she breastfed me. Oh, you like that comforter? Well, you wouldn't be able to see perfectly to pick it out. You wouldn't have that vision, that creative vision to see that comforter on your bed. Oh, you like the painting you put up on the wall? Well, you wouldn't have that vision to see the painting. Everything, my hair, everything I have is because my mom breastfed me. Oh my God, I can't even go. So that's really what boobs are for. But today, boobs are for a lot more than that. Oh my God. I remember one time I was shopping with my friend and we were trying on sports bras and she has these huge boobs, natural, real boobs, huge, just massive. And she puts this sports bra on and her boobs were like the girl my husband checked out. Just like her, up to her chin. And I said to her, oh my God, you look so good in that sports bra. Like, you have to get that sports bra. And she was like, oh my God, my husband might die if I walked around in this sports bra with my boobs hanging out like this. Like, he might be like, what are you doing? And I said to her, I remember saying this because this is how my brain thinks. I don't know about everyone else, but this is how I think. I said, okay, question. If some hot 25-year-old with the same size boobs as you was wearing the sports bra and you were walking down the street with your husband, do you think he would stop and look? And I was like, the answer is yes. Don't answer. No. The answer is yes. He would be checking her out from head to toe. So why shouldn't you wear it? Like, why shouldn't you wear it and look hot and good? And it's interesting because some people have this view that when you're like married, you don't need to look hot. You don't need to show it off. You already have a guy and you should respect him and cover it up and blah, blah, blah. Well, let me tell you something. I'm still going to look hot. There's no guarantee on anything. I am trying desperately to keep it together. I am doing everything. No, I'm not doing everything, but I'm doing some things. Like I try to work out. I try to stay in shape. I try to keep it together. Look, I know we made vows till death do us part. And obviously, I don't want my husband to have to die if he leaves me. Like, that sucks. But he said, till death do us part. He shouldn't have said it. I hate for him to have to die. But I do feel that he leaves me and he's dead. Like, I have to, like, still look good. Not that I'm dating again. Not that I am out looking. but I would still like to look good because it's something about feeling good, looking good, dressing good, you know, being done up. It just, I feel good. And you know, there's this whole thing about like, you know, you should feel good any way you want. And I think that that's true. Like if you feel good putting your boobs away and covering them up in a turtleneck, then great. You should wear the turtleneck. I feel good when I feel like I'm in a lower cut top, but sometimes I do wear the turtleneck and I still feel like I look good. I feel like, okay, this is cool. Like I still feel good. But I'm just saying, like, you should not feel like you have to change. I guess the point of this is you shouldn't feel like you have to change what you are going to wear because you can't have other people look at you or your husband's going to be. No, he married you. He loves you the way you look. He loves you the way you are. Wear the sports bra and look good, because I promise you, he's checking out the girl who is wearing the sports bra. So if you look good in the sports bra and you want to wear it, don't worry about what anyone else is thinking. You do you, girlfriend. You wear it. And look, every guy is going to be probably commenting like, yes, I'd like my wife to wear that sports bra. Except for my husband when he's like, you look better without makeup. Oh, really? Then why are you all over me when I have makeup on then? Okay. I'm not going to believe that for a second. Oh, my God. I love when boobs are the topic of conversation because it's such a silly, ridiculous thing. Like, that, like, boobs are so glorified. I mean, it just, it's just thinking about it. It's just cute little things. And I feel like they're the things that make the world go around, whether they're small, they're big, they're perky, they're down. Like, it doesn't even matter. People just like love boobs. And boobs is a funny word. What do we like, tits or boobs? But I'll tell you, because I'm from New Orleans, the motto in New Orleans is show your boobs. Show your boobs. And people in New Orleans show their boobs for beads. Like 10-cent beads. They're showing their boobs when they get like, I'm like, show your boobs for more than beads. And I'll tell you, I never showed my boobs for beads, but I had a lot of friends who showed their boobs for beads. But I was terrified of my mom. My mom used to be walking around the Mardi Gras strip too, around the parades. Oh my God. I couldn't even, they throw underwear off of the float, like panties, like cute little G-string panties. They throw off of the float. And women in New Orleans take the panties and they pull them over their jeans or shorts or whatever they're wearing, and they wear the G-string panties over their jeans. And they wear, you know, and they have all these beads on. And my mom goes, listen to me, you MFer. If I catch you with a pair of those panties over your jeans, I'm going to grab you by that long blonde hair and I'm going to beat the shit out of you on that parade strip. And you're going to be so embarrassed. You're going to look like a crazy person. I spent my life getting threatened by my mom. So you could imagine that I was terrified of doing anything my mom told me not to do. So I never showed my boobs because I know right at the moment that I would have joined everyone in the crew who showed their boobs for a pair of 10-cent beads, that my mom would walk up and kill me in front of everyone. I remember I was in the car. My mom was driving me and one of my friends, and she was like, it was something like, she was like, shut the fuck up, you motherfucker. And one of my friends turned to me and goes, your mom just called you a motherfucker. And I was like, I know. My mom told my ass off. So trust me, I was not showing my boobs for beads. I was not out showing my boobs on the Mardi Gras strip to the floats and the parades. But you know what I was doing? Pumping them up and showing them at Hooters, because Hooters was paying my bill. And I was showing them in the calendar. That's what I was doing. Well, I guess I'll let y'all go on that. We'll be back next week with some more of blah, 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 blah. And remember, you can always shoot me a DM, ask questions, tell me topics that you want to talk about, and we will get into it. I would love that. Let me know. Have a good day. See you next week.
She's mad.